Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are doing our first top 10 Dokkan Fest tier list for the year of 2021. Yes, congrats, we have made it. We are going to be doing the first one. So we're going to be, talking about Goten and Trunks into some great length with we get once we get to their spot. Obviously, we're going to go over each unit in pretty much detail on why I chose them and talk about other honorable mentions. There's a lot of honorable mentions here. First off, like Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, a fantastic unit. Into Gotenks, fantastic unit. Android 13, fantastic unit. There's many more that are really great, but they just didn't make it on this list for some, unfortunately, 13 is kind of like a little bit of a wonky unit. I mean, he's very good. He almost did make it on the list, but you guys will see some of the, and I'll go over more of the reasonings on why once we get into it. But yeah, he's on it. Kefla's on it. I mean, Kefla's a super powerful unit, by the way. Anyway, I don't know. Like a lot of people kind of like dismiss her as like a good unit because of like her restrictions, but she's very good. But yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of jump into the list. But yeah, there's a bunch of units that aren't going to be on here that you might think are, but that is fine. It's all opinions. Well, actually, it's probably the Soul 3 to be honest. Yes, because number 10, I have Super Saiyan to Goku, the Dokkan Fest, and obviously I have number 9 as Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. They're both extraordinarily good units, very good, could hit like 3 million attack stats, pretty good defensively, great link set, great categories. They hit, again, very hard. When they transform, they're very good. The only thing about them is that they need to get 6 orbs, kind of like the Kefla situation, but the only difference is Kefla takes a couple turns for it to start rocking. These guys can start rocking turn 1. Like 3 million attack stats off the gate, 100k defense, great links. It's not very hard to get them to transform. Well, sometimes it can be, sometimes it couldn't. It really depends. But their Super Saiyan 2 states are very, very strong. That's why I definitely think that they deserve to be on the list still. And then when they go Super Saiyan 3 and Majin Vegeta, effective against all types starts kicking in. They start, Vegeta guards. Yeah, they become absolute monsters. They're still very good. Mind you, every unit that's on this top 10 list, or even the honorable mentions I mentioned, are still extraordinarily good units. I think Gotenks is absolutely phenomenal. The only reason why he didn't make it on this list, again, is because of the Super Saiyan 2. Same thing with Kefla, same thing with 13. I just enjoy the Super Saiyan 2s a bit more over them. And because the Super Saiyan 2s are amazing, strong powerhouses. These guys have aged tremendously. If anything, they keep aging better whenever I use them. Like, wow, like these units are actually very, very strong. And then the other reason why they have them as 10 and 9 is because I have AGL Bardock as number 8. I do think Bardock's a bit better. He just does a bit more. Obviously, he stacks defense. This form right here is absolutely disgusting. Like, he could absolutely molly up any Wicked Bloodline enemies. Great categories, great link set. He's just all around very good defensively. Not many restrictions in the sense where you need 6 orbs or stuff like that. He's outputting very good numbers. He's stacking stuff like that. It's the reason why I have him a bit higher. I think the damage output will probably still go to these two. But personally, just like my playing, I just enjoy defense a bit more. Don't get me wrong. There's gonna be some units on the list that aren't very good defensively, but they do a lot of other things as well. These guys just don't do much for their teams overall. They just don't do much for their teams. But they are extraordinarily powerful still. And then, Bardock, just having that, effective against all types against Wicked Bloodline is very good. And then the stacking, man. The stacking is a great mechanic for him. The 120% defense. Like, he's just really good defensively. He's great offensively. He could just be a complete powerhouse when he transforms as well. So as a whole, I do enjoy him more. You could probably say the Super Saiyan 2s are better than him if you really want to. But personally, I like Bardock a bit more than them. But again, that's just my preference. I think you could move those 3 around however you want. Like, if you think Super Saiyan 2 Goku's better, that's fine. I mean, his attack stats are always going to look a bit better because his stats are a little, I believe his attack percentage is a little bit higher, but it's very easy for Vegeta to get effective against all types, and his numbers aren't much lower. So that's why I would say Vegeta's a bit better, and he guards as well. The Bardock, for me, again, this is defensive capabilities, his offense is great, links, all that jazz, but again, you could swap those 3 however you want. Personally, I just like Bardock a bit more. So let's move on to number 7. We got Physical Beerus. Physical Beerus is still one of the strongest units in the game at turn 1. This man can hit a 6 million attack stat out of the gate, as long as you have Luis Salvados. No, I said Luis Salvados, so I would probably say that's why I have him at number 7. Again, he's an extraordinarily strong unit, but he's very situational in the fact that you need those units, and I do have to draw back points on that. He's a great lead, pretty good link set, but again, having that much of a restriction of having those units, I do have to jot down points, but he is extremely good when you have those units on rotation with him. He hits like a freaking freight train. You know, he really is a complete monster, to say the very least. I think he's a phenomenal freaking unit. So that's just, again, my opinion. I do think he's at number 7 on this list. Let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Number 6, we have Sgr Cooler. Sgr Cooler is at number 6. For some reasons, you know, we got Bojack at number 5. I do think Bojack's a bit better than Cooler. I mean, they're both amazing. They both literally pretty much do the same thing. The only difference is Cooler does crits when he's in this form, and then Bojack does, he's better defensively than Cooler. So again, as a more defensive-based player, I definitely like Bojack just a little bit more. But other than that, I mean, Sgr Cooler is an absolute behemoth of a monster still. He completely destroys events. They both really do. Like, you could really swap them around if you want, because but realistically, they do the same thing. They're both a support to their categories. They both hit 2 to 4 million attack stats. The only difference is Bojack's a bit better defensively, and he doesn't get guaranteed crits here. But he does get extra attack and defense percentages, so his attack stats will pretty much look higher than Cooler's. But really, I mean, Cooler is getting guaranteed crits against Hybrid and Pure Saiyan, but again, that is a bit more situational versus just getting orbs. So, I mean, it's just up to you, honestly. But I do think Bojack is just a little bit better. But that's not much by much, because literally they're the same exact unit. They're still pretty much the same exact unit. So that is my reasoning behind these two being where they're at. But again, you could put Cooler up front. I just think Bojack's defense definitely gives him a bit of an edge. That's the only really big thing. It's either defense versus crits, and honestly, defense really does come in clutch. And Bojack is better in like Extreme Super Battle Road for sure. It's kind of is. He kind of is. Kind of the same crap, right? But yeah, they're both very good. Again, you can swap them. I personally think one's better than the other. That is fine. So let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Guess who's at number 4? Yes, I have Super Saiyan Trunks Kid and Super Saiyan Goten as number 4. So let's talk about these units for a couple minutes here, because some of you are probably like, oh, you think they're better than Cooler and Bojack? I think their overall utility is better, but if we're talking about overall unit, these guys, even in their absolute worst, were hitting insane numbers. In Extreme Super Battle Road, these guys, and I have a bunch of Extreme Super Battle Road videos. I did one with them, and then I did another one with Goten, Trunks, and these guys as well, with the EZAs I'm referring to. That third turn guaranteed dodge, literally, there was a moment where there was like 12 attacks in the first slot. I literally threw them there, put their active skill, they dodged everything, and they did an 7 million attack set right after. So they completely destroyed the event, basically. So long events, my man was still hitting numbers between, basically 3 to 7, literally, like all the time. As long as you have them paired up with the other EZA units, it's not very difficult getting those numbers. The only downside to them, and the reason why they're probably even like this low, is because of their defense. They do need a super to get their defense, so that I do always have to take down points off for that. They're not a turn 1 unit. Not turn 1 unit. Freaking no, they're definitely a turn 1 unit. They're insane. A first slot unit. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. Sorry for the morning. I've been recording all night. But I could definitely confidently say I do think that they're at number 4. I definitely think that they're better than Cooler and Bojack overall, because even at their worst moments, they're still better. Like, their attack and defense numbers are actually insane. Still, they're, they are very RNG based. So again, they're not number 1, they're not 2, they're not 3, but they're like 4 to me. So I definitely do have points taken off. They could definitely do tons of damage. They could definitely are very good defensively. Their link set's pretty alright. They're a pretty good lead. I'm not countering the lead, so I gotta stop mentioning that. But their active skill is insane. That dodge is impeccable in Extreme Super Battle Road. Like, I saw it firsthand, and I could tell you it's absolutely freaking busted, stupid, insanity. So I would definitely probably say that they deserve to be at number 4. Again, I do know that they're very RNG based, but again, dude, their RNG based still is like super freaking strong. Like, they do so much stuff with their RNG, and it's honestly pretty insane, man. And so I definitely got to say that they're number 4. They're very fun. Again, 4 to 7 million attack stats. Their defense is pretty good. I could tell you that their SGR phase in the UIA event, they didn't they took a lot of damage after Super. They took like 300k, but I think that's pretty normal. And then they absolutely crush the int stage. So long events, they're great. Short events, they're fantastic. Super Super Battle, they're fine. They were more than fine because of the dodge. So their dodge is actually impeccable, and they're very good defensively. So I'll probably say that they're like number 4. And then obviously, I think it's pretty obvious with the number 3, 2, and 1. And the 3, 2, and 1 are going to be Ultimate Gohan, Frieza, and Gogeta. And you could probably swap those 3 however you want. Probably say Ultimate Gohan's still number 1, but I still think he's number 3. Personally, it's just, I think overall, like, he could get better defense numbers and attack numbers than Frieza, but Frieza's just so much fun to use, and like his utility of literally transforming turn 1 to either going full defense or going full attack mode is very poggers. I mean, he literally seals, he stuns, he does a lot. Great links set, great categories. Gogeta literally has nothing wrong with him. Effective against all types, 150k defense, literally destroying everything that comes in the way, countering supers. Great active skill, great link set, great cats. Like, this man's just absolutely absurd, and he's good in every event in the game. But the difference between them and Goten and Trunks here, it's mainly the fact that they're not much dependent on RNG, or are going to have moments where they're not acting like at their overall height, like their amazingness, right? That's definitely a big thing that I gotta bring up, that they're not RNG reliant at all, and they're just, you know, insanely good out of the gate, right? That's pretty much how I view it. Like, these 3 are always going to be crazy, while these guys have a chance of not looking great, but even at their absolute lowest, like, they're still looking really good. So I would definitely say that they definitely deserve to be number 4. Again, you could put Ultimate Gohan at 1 or Frieza at 1, whatever you guys want to do, but I think I feel pretty comfortable with how I have my list here. I think they're definitely a number 4 unit. So like I mentioned in a lot of the videos, they're a top 5. I don't think Bojack's better than them. I don't think that argument is, like, again, utility wise, sure, but like overall attack and defense wise, I kind of like these guys a bit more. They definitely are a explosive unit, is to say the very least. So I feel pretty comfortable with that. I don't think they're at this, like, here's the thing, at their absolute best, they're definitely at this level of the top 3. Like, before, there was a huge realm between Bojack, not huge, but like a realm between Bojack, Cooler, and these top 3 right here. Now, I would say this unit is in that realm of these 3, for sure. Like, they're like, at their best, they're in the realm. At their lowest, they're like still as good as Cooler and Bojack. So that's just kind of like how I see it. So these guys are kind of like in that weird little middle spot where they could be either top 3 or top 6, that kind of deal, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, they're absolutely disgusting, nutty. Definitely not a best unit in the game unit for me. They're still very like wonky with some of their links, some of their characteristics, but they're very strong regardless. So definitely deserve to be in the top 5 at least. And then again, that was after me doing like 6 different videos on them, looking at them at different scenarios, stuff like that. So I would definitely say that they're very, very top tier, very good units and all that jazz. So again, let's go over the entire list. We got Gogeta, we got Frieza, we got Gohan, we got Goten and Trunks, we got Bojack, Sgr Cooler, Beerus, Bardock, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and Super Saiyan 2 Goku as the top 10 list. Definitely let me know what you guys think. What you guys would swap around. Like, do you think Goten and Trunks deserve to be lower, higher? I don't think he's better. Like, I mean, he could be as good as Frieza or better, but honestly, I kind of still prefer Frieza. I like his kit a bit more. I like Gogeta's kit a bit more. For sure, and I definitely like Gohan's kit a bit more for them. Again, the RNG factor to them, I'm not a huge fan of like RNG based cards besides like physical Vegeta Blue, because his is like really not that bad. In the sense that like he's not going to ever really look bad. This unit right here, I guess it kind of, I feel like it just kind of depends. Like it could go either way, honestly. I feel like it could go honestly either way, and it's really up to the viewer on how you guys feel about them. But I feel pretty comfortable pretty much ending the video where I'm at. If you feel like I messed up any of my explanations, definitely let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this will be the new tier list for this month. I'll probably make another one once Saiyan Day comes out to kind of like give you guys an idea where that unit's going to be on the top 10. Again, every unit that comes out, I kind of like doing that. Kind of like, you know, seeing where these videos kind of remind me where certain things belong in the meta, right? That's kind of what it is. So again, if you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, do all that greatness. Appreciate all the support on the channel. As always, you guys are amazing. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out, man.